nigga, this on God. Nigga want right away, but nigga, we not ride. 15 band for that lit nigga, I'ma do that job. I go twice by my gang nigga, I double down with them fine. No matter what, pushing up with 30 mans and 50 round drone. I ain't gotta come my capital, come get you, I'm a dime.
This conversation needs to be had, but this current console generation is complete garbage. Nintendo really got the balls to charge $450 for the Switch 2 and $80 for Mario Kart. No, that's not including DLC, that's just base game. I ain't gonna lie, the day you catch me spending $80 for base game, that bitch better come with a real life Mario Kart and it better be street legal. Nintendo really finessing their fans by overcharging while still being steps behind modern hardware. Nintendo just now got around to putting voice chat on their console. If you thought that wasn't bad enough, nigga, you have to pay a subscription to use the motherfucker. Imagine your homie calling you to join VC, but you can't because you don't have enough money to join. Nintendo fans will see no problems with this because they're used to riding dick on the daily. At that point, you're actually better off spending your money on OnlyFans. You would genuinely get more value out of that than buying a Switch 2. Nintendo might be more greedy than fucking PlayStation. I'll tell you what, their console costs more. If you want any other accessories like a controller, which is $80, and a case for your Switch, which is $40, that shit's gonna cost more than a PS5. Bro, how can Nintendo fans justify that on top of the $80 for video games? Imagine spending over $500 just for all of your games to have PS4 graphics. Nintendo fans will see this and have no problems with it because they're mindless sheep. These motherfuckers would pay for air if Nintendo was selling it. I'm starting to think Nintendo knows how brain dead their fan base is, because why else do they think they could do this shit? Because I promise you, if PlayStation did this shit, people would be furious, okay? A whole ass angry mob would form with fucking pitchforks and torches. But I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation is already trying to follow in Nintendo's footsteps, because they already sold a $500 console with no new exclusives, because God of War and Spider-Man 2 are not exclusives if you can play them on PC. I think it's safe to say the PS5 is the worst PlayStation, because the fact I can go on my PS5 and it's gonna be all PS4 games installed is unacceptable. The only reason I bought the PS5 was because I thought Marvel's Spider-Man 2 was gonna be a great game. Instead, they delivered one of the most insanely ass storylines I've ever played in a video game.
You can't keep a job. You can't pay the mortgage.
PlayStation decided to hit a stain on my pockets, so I'm not buying another PlayStation after the PS5. They could have done something with this console besides only making it backwards compatible with PS4 games, because the entire PS3 catalog is non-existent on the PS5, and the only way to play any PS3 games on the PS5 is to pay for the premium PS Plus membership, which costs $18 a month. Also, did I mention you have to stream the game, meaning your ability to play the game is based on your internet connection. So if a lot of people are using the Wi-Fi, be prepared to see each individual pixel of the game you're playing. I gotta give Xbox some credit here, bro, because even though they don't got games for real, at least they got backwards compatibility with the 360, so they can cope with not having any exclusives. I still would rather own a PS5 over the Switch 2 though, because I can still play PlayStation's past exclusives on the PS5 that I wouldn't be able to on the Switch 2, like Ghost of Tsushima, Bloodborne, the Uncharted games, Marvel Spider-Man, the first one, God of War. I ain't gonna lie, I would rather play Gravity Rush 1 and 2 over any game on the Switch 2. No bullshit. I wouldn't even think about buying the Switch 2 because in the user agreement, Nintendo has the right to brick your Switch if you try to mod it. There's no point in buying a Switch 2 because you don't have real ownership if you can't mod the console you paid for. Nintendo fanboys will swear up and down that it's better than the Steam Deck, when by default the Steam Deck is better because it has access to Steam. Also, I'm pretty sure it can emulate Switch games, further proving my point that you don't need to buy the Switch 2. I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I could be a parent and be cool with my kid asking me for a Switch 2 without having the strong urge to do him like Debo. I would genuinely rather my kid ask me for a PC a Switch 2, because I at least know that my kid has some taste. Honestly, I would say that PC provides the best gaming experience, truly, because you're able to play a lot more games just on Steam. PlayStation exclusives are getting released on PC now, and on top of that, bro, you can emulate older games. whether that's from the PS1 or the PS2. And if you're not feeling that, you can emulate PSP games. I've had a PC for almost a year, and I know that as long as I have a PC, I will never need to buy a Switch 2. To those people who are even remotely thinking about buying a Switch 2, just buy a PC. You would be getting far more value out of it than buying a Switch. I ain't gonna lie, the Switch is kind of trash because it's supposed to be a portable console, but you can't even carry that shit in your pocket. You gotta have a whole case for it. I couldn't imagine having to unzip my carrying case and people hearing the sound of me pulling out the Switch. I would feel a lot more comfortable reaching into my pocket and pulling out a PSP over pulling out a Switch. I think only soy boys are willing to risk social suicide if it means pulling out their Switch in public. Those people are braver than me, because ain't no way I could be caught with a Nintendo Switch around the hose, I promise you. I don't think you should be able to pull out a Nintendo Switch and expect pussy to fall into your lap. I don't think Nintendo thought about the idea that their fans would actually want to get bitches, because if they did, I feel like they would have found a way to make the Nintendo Switch look cool. I think that there's better things that you can buy with $500+ than a Nintendo Switch 2. I think Nintendo got some okay games, but to spend over $500 on the console just to play Mario Kart is wild to me. I would honestly say that you would be getting more value out of getting an Xbox because it got Game Pass and it costs less, and Nintendo's taxing the fuck out of you for the Switch too. Alright, I'm done here. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.
First a beaming and bought me another. I fuck with this bitch, I don't cut it. Bitch, I don't cut it. Rock with 200 rest in the duff. I'll be lying if I said that I love you. If I said that I love you. This glizzy a buck. I ain't tryna scuff it. I ain't tryna scuff it. We get up and motherfucking hustle. I got all this shit out the mud.